Hey, what's up everybody? MichaelTheArch here. Today we're back out on Call of the Wild with another weapon information video. And today we are taking a look at the Bearclaw Lite CB-60 compound bow. Now, this bow comes on the console in the base game install, and on PC it is a free DLC. It should install on its own on Steam, but if not, then you do have to download it and install it. It only comes in one variation. It's like a bronze camo. It's really cool. It has only one round, as all of the compound bows do. Now, with the rest of the videos, I'm not going to mention this, but we're only going to be taking a look at the single pin versions of the sights with the compound bows in their videos. And then we will take a look at all of the bow sights, the compound bow sights, in a separate video and explain how to use them. So, this bow is going to come in at 4 units of weight. It is unlocked at the start of the game. You do not have to have any sort of score or anything else that you need to do. And it's going to run you 6,000 credits. Now, in here, if you take a look at it, then, as I said, it's going to be a weight of 4 units. It is 6,000 credits, accuracy of 38, recoil 10, reload speed is 100, hip shot 14, and peak draw weight is 60. This portion of the video is going to be shared with all of the compound bow videos. So if you notice it looks the same, it's because it is the same exact footage being shared between all of them. So all of the compound bow are compatible with 4 different sights and six different arrows. Starting with the Bright Sight rangefinder bow sight, which is a digital rangefinder sight, and it is free with the high-tech hunting pack. It comes in weighing at 2 units of weight. The Bright Sight single pin sight is going to come in at 0.5 units of weight and is 3,000 credits. This is the exact same as the base sight, except for it glows. Then the Swift Mark 3-pin bow sight also comes in at 0.5 units of weight and is 12,000 credits. This is a lot like the 5-pin, with the 3 pins representing the zeroing, 40 yards plus the zeroing if you aim with the bottom pin, and I wouldn't bother at all with the top pin. You're not going to be, unless you're 40 yards zeroed off of it, then you're not really going to want to use that. And then that's going to come in at 12,000 credits if I didn't say it. The Swift Mark 5-pin bow sight, coming in at 0.5 units of weight, is going to run you 24,000 credits, and it has 5 pins, which each of them will be, the orange in the middle is going to be the zeroing, 20 yards below or above, and then 40 yards below or above are the outer pin. And you can do the same thing with the 3-pin. If you just sort of put an imaginary pin in the middle of those, it does seem to actually work about the same. So with the arrows, you're going to have 2 different variations of each of 3 grains of arrows. So I'll go on and say the tracer arrows are all DLC from the high-tech hunting pack, and they are unlocked from the start as soon as you download and install that DLC. That means that you can actually hunt with the 300 grain or the 600 grain before you unlock them in the game if you have the tracers. They will cost you more, but you can go on and purchase them and hunt with them. Now, we're going to take a look at these 2 at a time, or group them by the same grainage. So the 300 grain small game point arrows in the non-tracer variety are going to cost you a weapon score or a bow score of 1066 to unlock. be able to purchase. 10 of them are going to run you 530 credits. No unlock score for the Tracer version. 10 of them are going to run you 690 credits. They both come in at 0.06 units of weight. As with all of these arrows, the effective range is 21.87 yards or 20 meters. The expansion, as with all of them, is also going to be 0. Now, with the 300 grain, penetration is 10, and the recommended classes is 1 to 2. Moving down to the 420 grain broadhead arrow, these are unlocked at the start of the game. They are going to run you 700 credits for 10 of them in the non-tracers, and the tracer version will be 910 credits for 10 of them. Now, these are going to come in weighing at 0.07 weight, with the penetration 50 and the recommended class 2 to 7. The bears are class 7, so that's the biggest thing you can hunt with this. And then something like the coyotes or jackals or fox are going to be your class 2, or your Siberian musk deer even are going to be your class 2. So the 300 grain is basically for ducks and rabbits. You also hunt geese and turkeys with them, and that's about all you want to hunt with them. For anything bigger than that, go with the 420 grain. Now, if you're on a map and a bear is the biggest thing on the map, the 420 will be fine to take. You don't have to take the 600, but it is going to be much better at the class 7. So, moving on down to the 600 grain, the non-tracer version unlocks at a bow score of 3,554. 10 of these in non-tracer is going to run you 880 credits, while the tracer version, 10 of them will run you 1,140 credits. Now, these come in at 0.08 units of weight. The penetration is 90, and the recommended classes is 7 to 9. That's going to be your bears, your moose, your gemsbok, your elk, your bison, and your buffaloes, and your lions as well. All right, we're out here on the range with the Bearclaw, and we're going to go ahead and take a look at these targets. For future reference, this is 22 yards, 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 55 yards, 110 yards. So, right now we're only going to use the single pin sights, and I will go back and take a look at them at the other bow sights later in another video. With the bow, when you're aiming, the longer that you aim, the more your heart rate will go up. So you can't just sit there and hold it forever like you can a gun. At 22 yards, you want to put the tip of this just slightly over the middle of what you're shooting at. At 20 yards, the same exact thing. You want to make sure that if you look at your windage gauge, then you want to make sure that your wind is not blowing cross like mine is. If it is, you definitely have to hold over to the side. If you can see the wind actually blowing, it will actually blow your arrow off course. So we're going to go ahead and zero in. Those were all zeroed at the 22. We're going to zero in for 44. And you can see how further out you go, if it's over like 30 yards, you really are going to start having the wind blow it really bad with the Bearclaw. And it's blowing it up even. So that's about as good as you can do sometimes with Bearclaw or the the Bearclaw or the Razorback. Now this one is at 55. Go on and zero in for your 66 yards. It doesn't look like I'm hitting it, so I'm not sure if it's just blowing it totally off course or what's going on. Very weird. Okay, hold on. There we go. We got one finally. This is 55 yards. So you see, it's very hard with the single pin sight to judge where to go. Now, I'm going to hold this out for the 66 yards. We hit the board. We held at the top of his head, but we didn't actually get anything. So as you can see, this is 110 yards out here. It's very hard to actually, with the single pin sight, it's going to be almost impossible to get anything that far, especially with the Bearclaw. Now, we're actually going to change the arrows out right quick, and the arrow that I'm going to change to is the 600 grain, and I want to show you how even at the 40, it's right there dead on. But it does, if you notice, I'm holding about the same spot. It's all over the place. The heavier the arrow with this bow, the worse it'll be from further out. So really with this, I mean, the wind just blew that one way off course. And that's because it's the 600 grain. If we go in here with the other one, the 300 grain, this is going to be almost dead on every time. These with the bigger bows are actually less accurate. So that's how you can use the Bearclaw. The 420 grain arrows are going to be your best bet, and the small or 300 grain arrows are going to be better on this bow than the other bows, besides the Razorback. So again, this is the Bearclaw CB-60, and this thing does look really cool, though. I've got to give it that. It does look really cool. I will see y'all in the next one. If you like my content, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment.